The Baylor Bears, the two-time defending Big 12 Conference champs, will now be put to their stiffest test yet this season, as they will match a team that can match with them offensively and defensively, as my Sooners head down to Waco, Texas, to play in McLean Stadium for the first time in the OU Baylor series in the new McLean Stadium Saturday night at 7 p.m. on ABC. This is a preview for that game. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the show. Not very far from McLean Stadium is in Waco, Texas, is the Dr. Pepper factory, which the soda company is the home and is the builder of the national championship trophy. Now, to get such trophy, the Baylor Bears don't have to do much. All they have to do is just win. Oklahoma also, all they have to do is just win. Which brings us to the game at McLean. The all-new McLean Stadium. No longer Floyd Casey. In fact, there is no more Floyd Casey. So it is just plain McLean Stadium now. New setting, new everything. Right off the river there in Waco on campus. At McLean Stadium, the game is between our Oklahoma Sooners and the Baylor Bears. If you're heading down to Waco this weekend, tonight, look for temperature in the 50s, mid to low 50s. Chances of rain, 20% through the third quarter. Fourth quarter, it does jump to about 50%. The 50% jump happens at about 10 o'clock. So they're kind of late in the game on Saturday night. Sooner Legend, there is no Sooner Legend this week. There is one more Sooner Legend that will be available for next week's game on the corner of White and Asp on campus. Corner. But as far as this week is concerned, it's Saturday, November the 14th between Oklahoma and Baylor in McLean. On ABC at 7 o'clock, the TV coverage will be held down by ABC, and the college game day crew is actually there in Waco, which means that Chris Fowler is the play-by-play guy for this weekend. The color guy will be Kirk Herbstreit, the former linebacker from The Ohio State University, and on the sidelines will be Heather Cox. Of course, if you don't want to watch those guys, you can listen to our bunch on the Sooner Sports Radio Network. That is held down by the Row, Toby Rowland, the play-by-play man. Former Oklahoma coach and now color analyst Merv Johnson holds down the color analyzing of the game. The sideline is held down by a couple of former linebackers, as in number 40. Former linebacker number 42, and from the franchise in Oklahoma City, 1077, Rufus Alexander. Also from Sports Talk Radio, Sports Talk 1400 host, of course, Sports Talk 1400 on 1400 AM, the ref, Teddy Lehman. And but the main sideline analyst is a Sooner Sports correspondent, and that's my buddy, the Planker, Chris Plank. Be able to be sure to catch his podcast on Soonersports.com. He did a great job with those. Actually had another pretty good one with the current women's coach at Oklahoma, Sherry Cole, earlier this week. Something interesting to note about this game. This is only the second time that the college game day crew, Chris Fowler, Lee Corso, Kirk Street, etc., have all been in Waco for the game. The only other time was last year in 2014, December the 6th, which was championship weekend. Kansas State was at McLean. Other than that, and of course this one time, they've never been in Waco, meaning that they were never at the Floyd Casey Stadium. This is their second straight year, of course, as I said, they were never at Floyd Casey Stadium, I'm sorry. This is their second consecutive year at the Klein. Breaking down the teams. First, we'll do our side of the Oklahoma Sooners. The Oklahoma Sooners have once again jumped up their points per game average. Their points per game average is now up to 46.3, which is fourth best in the nation. Their yards per game is 549.3, which is seventh best in the nation. Defensively, they're also playing at a high level with averaging 18.1 points given up. That is 33rd best in the country. And then also defensively, giving up 327.2 yards. That is 51st best in the nation. For the rest of the time, we'll talk about the Sooners overall. Bob Stoops. Stoopsy is in his 16th year at Oklahoma, 16th year at Oklahoma. In the other 15 years, he averages 168 wins to match with 44 losses. That includes an 8-5 record last season. Last season, they also tied for fourth best in the conference with Oklahoma, of course, themselves, Texas, and West Virginia. This year's version of Oklahoma, a lot better than last year's version at 8-5. In fact, they already have as many wins as they did last year with just a month left. Which means they're 8-1. They're 5-1 in conference this year. The wins include games at the home opener against Akron, 41-3. They then went on the road at Tennessee, which is another great stadium, by the way, and got that big-time win, 31-24. Before traveling back home for two straight against Tulsa and West Virginia, they beat Tulsa 52-38. Then they came home to beat West Virginia 44-24 before heading down to Dallas and losing their one game this year, 24-17 in the Cotton Bowl. Came back a couple of weeks later, got a big-time win there, 55-0, skunked Kansas State in Manhattan before traveling home for homecoming and getting the big 63-27 win over Texas Tech before heading back onto the road back to the Kansas area. This time they were at Kansas and they get the big 62-7 win out there in Lawrence. And before coming back home and facing on Military Appreciation Day and facing the Iowa State Cyclones and getting a big-time 52-16 win there. Their bowl game for Oklahoma for 2014 was, of course, the Russell Athletic Bowl, a 40-6 stomping by Clemson, number 18th ranked Clemson at that time. That evened Bob's record at 5-5 for bowl games. Conference or divisional titles in the Stoops era, of course, he's got them, quite a few of them. Has a couple of them in, has one in 2000, has a couple of them in 03, 02, 03, and 04 for back-to-back-to-back. Also had a back-to-back-to-back in 06, 07, and 08 before 2010 and 2012. So Oklahoma is the only other team to get back-to-back-to-back championships. Now Baylor's got a chance at it this season, and it starts this weekend. Speaking of Baylor, here are Baylor statistics. Statistically, Baylor is number one offense in scoring and in yards per game. In scoring, they are at 57.4 points per game, first in the nation. Yards per game, they're at 665.6 at first in the nation. Points allowed per ball game is at 25, which is best for 11th in the nation. But yards per ball game, yards given up per game, 388.4, which drops them all the way down to 123rd on defense. Total defense. Art Briles, Coach B, is in his 13th year coaching, has a 97-13 record in 13 years, winning percentage of .606. They include a couple of years from 03 to 07 at Houston at the Division I level, of course, before 08 to present, going to Baylor and getting them a couple of Big 12 championships to match that. Last year went 11-2, 8-1 in the conference play. The 8-1 in conference play was tied with Texas Christian University, who also went 8-1 in conference play last season. This year, Baylor still hasn't lost a game in conference play. 5-0. Actually 8-0 overall, 5-0 in conference play. Got wins against on the road at SMU, 56-32 week 1. Came home to face Lamar and Rice in back-to-back weeks. Lamar was 66-31 win there, and Rice was a 70-17 win there, before going to Dallas Cowboys Stadium, AT&T Stadium, where the Cotton Bowl will be played this year, one of the semifinals. Before that, Baylor got kind of a feel for that stadium and a win in that stadium, 63-35 over Texas Tech, before heading on the road and getting a big 66-7 win over Kansas. Before revenging that one loss they had to West Virginia last year, they avenged it this year, 62-38 win over West Virginia. Before staying at home, and getting a big 45-27 win over Iowa State, which is the game where Stidham went out. Stidham had to come into the game as a true freshman. Now Stidham did play well last week with Kansas State. With Baylor getting another win, this time at Kansas State on the road, 35-31 win in Manhattan. 2014, their 2014 bowl was, of course, the Cotton Bowl. A lot of people watched this one. A lot of people remember this one. In fact, Baylor kind of had this thing in the books until Michigan State came all the way back and got them 42-41. Michigan State was a 11-2 team last year, 7-1 in the East Division of the Big Ten. Baylor bowl record 2-3, which is a 667 winning percentage for Coach Briles. Division titles in the Stoops era, of course, 2013 and 2014, back-to-back years. The 2014 one last year, they tied with TCU with a 8-1 record. Well, guys, that'll do it for the preview for Oklahoma-Baylor. We'll be back with the post-game for Oklahoma-Baylor and a preview of TCU-Oklahoma next weekend. And hopefully we'll be coming back to you with a win. That would be great, wouldn't it, Sooner fans? Enjoy the game tonight, guys. And follow me on Facebook, Harry James Taylor. You can tweet me at Sooner_fan_OK. I also Periscope and Snapchat and do all that cool stuff, so you can find me there too. Thanks for watching, guys, Everybody enjoy your college football Saturday. Let's go beat the Bears and Boomer Sooner. Let's get this done, boys and girls.